Oh baby, are you a vintage freak who likes antiques? Then you're gonna love today's episode. This is Laugh Cry DIY. I am Katie. I am a cheap who loves thrifting, antiquing, and sourcing vintage decor. And it has been a while since I have done a good old-fashioned thrift vintage antique haul. So today I'm showing you 10 pieces that I have recently acquired, and to be honest, by recently I mean like probably within the last year. These are pieces I found, sourced, were gifted to me, some pieces I inherited, and some pieces I just scored out of the blue for no damn reason, but I'm so happy I did. So pour yourself a cup of tea and a shot of whiskey and let's get going. Today, we're gonna come out swinging with one of my favorite scores of the year, and that is vintage pyrex. Oh my gosh. I found this little trio set at my neighbor's garage sale. If you haven't seen it, I have a whole video on vintage pyrex collecting, which you can watch, I'll link it below. But this is a hugely important score for me and my family because you guys, not only is this a beautiful set, you guys, this was my mom's pattern. This is our family pattern. It's basically like our family crest. This is the late 1970s autumn harvest pattern from Pyrex. Look at these incredible colors. This late 70s orange, this like burnt amber color. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. I hope I can continue to grow the set, but I was so thrilled to see them because not only are these my family's pattern, the person I bought them from, the neighbor, said that these were his grandmother's bowls and he did not really have a use for them. So to score a completely intact Pyrex collection from the 70s for I think $25, ugh, steal of the year. I mean, really like absolute perfection. Ooh. All right, moving on, we are gonna jump from the 70s back to the late 20s with an object that I was very excited to find because I am always looking for them in antique stores and it is incredibly difficult to find them, and that is vintage pomade tins. I always try to collect these for my boyfriend because he uses pomade every single day. However, they're incredibly difficult to find. I think in probably 6 years of antiquing, I've found 2. And that is, I suspect, because a lot of barbers tend to swoop up anything that is related to hair care to display in their like cool vintage barbershops. But this one is really, really cool and unique. Like I said, late 20s. It is the Lucky Brown pomade. And I think what's really cool about it, I love this illustration of this couple in the little heart. I think it's so cool because it's like the Lucky Brown. It has a lot of like lucky symbols and stuff like that all around it. I love the color scheme, little portraits. I have noticed that in collecting these, usually these vintage pomade tins were really marketed towards like Black Americans to get straighter hair. I don't necessarily stand by the curly versus straight issue, but I do think that they are really cool. And actually, if you look up close to, like the illustrations can be very beautiful of the people. So I thought this was such a cool score. And again, I've found 2 in, I think, 6 years. So thank you so much to the random antique store in Northern California. Yay. All right, next up is something that I have seen and almost purchased in almost every thrift store I've ever gone to, but an aunt of mine gave me this really cute, adorable old vintage candelabra slash flower frog. If you guys don't know, flower frogs are a way that people used to arrange flowers. You like tuck the stems into each one of these little holes. And I love this kind of like lotus style. Is it lotus? I don't know. But I see this exact type of floral one, but I don't always see the candelabra version of it. So I was really excited when she told me she had this and wanted to give it to me. One thing I will say though is that I did try to do an arrangement in this flower frog, and maybe I need help, but she was sad, she was sparse, she was bald, and she also like totally overshadowed the candelabra. So instead I've been keeping like a really, really small thing of fake flowers here, which does the job for me. I also had to zhuzh her up with these colorful tapers, but I do keep her as a centerpiece on my table. Also, I should really clean her up, but we'll do that on another day. Great. And speaking of things I should really clean up, but I don't know how to. I have this adorable little like antique cauldron. She's a little like true perfect little witch's cauldron. She's perfect for like burning incense or mortar and pestling something, or something that can maybe go with my apothecary cabinet, which if you haven't seen that, you should look that up, also linked below. Actually, I just realized there's a mark on the bottom of this. Guys, what is the stamp? Let's find out. Okay, wait, the internet is saying that this is possibly an antique bean pot, not a little mini witch's cauldron. But you know what? That is even cuter, that is even cooler. Could it be turn of the century? Yes. Could it be 1980? Sure, who knows? But she is cast iron, so I'm very excited to, I don't know, boil a little elixir on Halloween. Will I poison myself? Only one way to find out. Like and subscribe to this video. All right, next. I am obsessed with things that look like one thing but are made from another material. There's not a word for that. I keep trying to discover or find out if there's a word for that. But I was in Joshua Tree with some girlfriends a couple months back. We went to the big flea market out in Joshua Tree and I found this little cutie, which I just think is so adorable. It's just a simple, it's just a little ceramic bunch of flowers, but they're so sweet. They're kind of grandma chic. I love just like tucking them on a bookshelf. They look so joyful and so fun. What are these? Impatiens? Pansies? Please identify. And let's see. This says it's floral bone china from Staffordshire, England. And here I thought it was just like a made in China piece from Home Goods. All I know is that it was $5 and it is bone china. And isn't that darling to have on your bookshelf? Now, I guess we are in our fine china era because I was blessed to receive a gift of this vintage Limoges, a fine china dish from my lovely subscriber, Jessica, who perfectly monogrammed this with my actual title. I know that that title upsets some people and I'm sorry, but I'm not calling you that, I'm calling me that, so I think we're gonna be okay. But I do love this plate so much. Shout out to Jessica. Thank you so much for sending it to me. I will cherish it forever. Jessica was also the total goat and sent me not only a vintage piece from Esquire, she sent me a vintage piece that reflects my own birthday. I am born January 19th. She pulled this January 1948 Vargas girl straight from an old Esquire magazine. Look at this girl. Glamorous pink sheer vintage dress. Look at her pink shoes. Do you see that? I want to be her. I want to know her. I want to steal her identity. And I'm so grateful that not only did she pull this for me, it's also pink and blue, which I have a whole thing about Sleeping Beauty and her pink and blue dress constantly changing. I'm always gravitating towards those color schemes. And I think this is such a special piece. So again, thank you so much to Jessica for giving me these two amazing vintage scores. I will cherish them always. Next up is a darling little heirloom that my mom gave me. And that is these two simple silver little egg cups that belonged to my grandparents when they got married, and this was part of their silver wedding set. They are, honestly, they're so simple, they're so dainty. I always see these in thrift stores and I always wanna get them, not because they're like little egg cups or even like could hold a little taper candle, but because they look like tiny goblets for tiny vampires to drink blood out of. And I just think that's so romantic. So I really hope that I can also incorporate these into some sort of witchy decor. But I've also seen some other hacks with people like kind of turning these into flower vases or mini vases, I don't know. But for now, they're really pretty and very simple and elegant. And again, I do need to polish them, but I kind of like the patina. What do you guys think? Do you guys actually polish your vintage silver or do you let the patina settle? Because personally, I'm kind of pro age because otherwise they look too new and what's the point? Ugh, who cares? Okay. All right, guys, I have two more pieces to show you, both of which I'm equally excited about. And before I show you the next one, I have to say, I'm a color-loving maximalist, I'm eclectic, I have a lot of things in my house, but as a color-loving maximalist who's kind of eclectic and has a lot of things in her house, I am really, really trying to actually not thrift as much, not buy all the little things that my heart desires, because there's just too much going on. But I saw this piece last week. I happened to just pop into a store for no reason, just because I needed to kill some time. Now, if you've watched previous antique hauls, you guys know I am obsessed with shells. Anything that is like a shell design, anything that's kind of fluted or scalloped. I have shell sconces, I have a shell butter dish. And I saw this and I had to have her. Look at this gorgeous blush pink. I do believe 1930s candy dish. It's Cambridge, Crown Tuscan milk glass, I think. She was, ready? $6. She was $6. She was $6. I had to get her. I had to get her. Look at her. She is stunning. She's Miss America. Look at the detail inside. Perfect scallops, cute little like ribbing. She has this cute little pedestal. She's the most gorgeous ideal, beautiful blush pink color. Now here's the thing, she's actually not stamped, so I cannot confirm that she's vintage. She might be a 1980s Golden Girls soap dish. Either way, I think she's beautiful, and I'm sorry, but look at the back. Look at the ribbing, look at this elegant swooped 1930s style. I'm gonna say it, 1930s, that's what the internet tells me it is. That's what I'm gonna say it is. But for now, she's gonna hold my keys and my heart. Oh, she's so beautiful. Imagine this is like a little drinking dish for a cat or a, oh, so beautiful. My cat will never, ever touch this, but I'm so glad to share it with you guys. And lastly today, we have an object that I don't think I've ever shown you guys on the channel before. It's been living at my mom's house and I have been meaning to thieve it away from her for years, and I finally did, and I'm so proud of myself. And this object is so unique and special and cool and unusual that I don't even know if you guys are gonna be able to guess what it is. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, let me see this. It's metal, has a little stand, has a little compartment, and it has a very old-timey plug. Do you see? You guys, this is a 1930s marshmallow toaster. Yeah, yeah. Look at this. It has a little coil inside with this plug, and this little piece goes on it. You put the marshmallow there, and you can see there's little grooves for your little like marshmallow steak to sit. And the idea is you would plug this into the wall, it would toast the marshmallow perfectly, and it is so cute. Not only that, this belonged to my grandfather as a boy, and I was doing research about it, and apparently when they were trying to sell electricity to the country, especially in the 30s, or they were going into rural areas or rural farms. My grandpa grew up on a farm in Michigan. They would make these novelty little items to try to kind of like close the deal or sell them to farmers or people. So my young grandfather probably received this as a boy from a traveling salesman who was selling electricity to rural families. It is such a cool heirloom. I am so excited to get it. And I actually think I'm gonna try to find a vintage lamp restorer or somebody. I wanna see if we can get an adapter and see if this actually really works. So also stay tuned for that someday. But for now, this is the official family Angela's Campfire Barbecue Marshmallow Toaster. So my friends, that is today's cute, adorable vintage haul. Don't act like you don't wanna see it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope you were inspired to keep an eye out for interesting items when you're on your own thrift adventures. And please, I would love, because I'm such a creep, please comment below the best thing you recently thrifted or antiqued of all time, or the most recent thing. I would love to know. And you can send me pictures too. I will link my website and the socials below. I also have a newsletter I send out each month with DIY decor tips, inspiration, fun thrift finds, all sorts of things if you like DIY decor and thrifting. You can also sign up for that below. And until next time, you will see me at your local thrift store trying to convince myself not to buy something, but realistically, I'm buying it. Okay, love you, bye.